By any measure, the toll of Somalia's famine was devastating. But until now, nobody had any idea of how bad it really was. Now, more than a year after the famine was formally declared over, a UN study has some answers. It says more than 250,000 people died because of food shortages in the 18 months from October 2010 to April 2012. 10% of children under 5 lost their lives. And all this despite a slew of warnings of an impending disaster that began almost a year earlier. The UN's Humanitarian Affairs Coordinator has admitted that the numbers are an indictment of the world's slow response. In a statement, Felipe Lazzarini said the magnitude of the mortality figures released today is truly unsettling. Warnings that began as far back as the drought in 2010 did not trigger sufficient early action. The suffering played out like a drama without witness. One of the famine's main causes was that drought, but continued fighting and a lack of security made it tough for aid agencies to deliver food where it was needed. High prices and unemployment made what little there was simply too expensive for most people to afford. Aid agencies argue that although the drought was a natural disaster, the famine was man-made.
That was a factor in this case. There was donor fatigue, there was a lack of political will, and the people of Somalia suffered because of the political failure to help the people of Somalia.
The famine and its death toll are likely to come up at a major conference to discuss Somalia in London next week. The UN study raises difficult questions about the world's slow response to those early warnings. Why, for example, did it take those dire images of dying children before significant amounts of aid started flowing in? And what will it take to make donors respond to warnings ahead of the next crisis? Greste, Al Jazeera, Nairobi.